This is going to be a very specific message for a specific group in the collective, okay? There's a lot of oracle messages on the table, but there is a very clear message among all of them that we're going to talk about first before we get into the depth of the reading with the tarot. I recommend you staying to listen to that part of the reading, but if you would rather jump to the reading for the message, you can do that also with the timestamp in the description and the comments. Or you can just go ahead and scroll ahead to that part of the reading. Alright, so let's have a look at some of this energy here. Stop trying to fix people and let go of being a martyr. Both of these cards are very connected to somebody with a cause, right? Or this very strong desire, this strong pull to fix or help others. That's who I'm connecting with in this reading right now. And this could be a cycle or a pattern that has been across your life, across your behavior over time. The stop trying to fix people card itself says it's not your job to fix anyone. Allow people the dignity of their own path. I feel like this is really standing out in this reading because this is a lesson that somebody or a group of people in this collective needs to hear and to learn. I'm also picking up on some burnout, some emotional exhaustion from overexerting yourself to help people or to try and fix people and their situations, okay? Sometimes trying to fix others, and I'm not talking about giving advice or supporting others. I'm talking about trying to actively fix how somebody thinks or behaves or their choices, trying to interrupt their choices as well. Or overgiving. Overgiving is another way that people try to fix other people, usually at the expense of themselves, right? Depletion. I'm picking up on some depletion. And this is probably something, if I'm speaking to somebody who does this, who has a pattern of this, you've probably experienced burnout and fatigue and isolation a lot in your life, like periodically. Let go of being a martyr says, find a balance between giving and receiving. It is not healthy to give so much that you feel ill or exhausted. This is just what I had said, right? So you overgive yourself to exhaustion. There's no balance. And on the bottom of the deck, I had see your emotions as teachers. So I feel like this is something that you are meant to learn on your path. You are meant to learn how to balance these energies and how to balance this with other people. Over here on the other side, we have air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So somebody in this mix could be an air sign, either you or somebody else. We've also got inner alchemy and mystical vision. Inner alchemy is about transforming challenges into opportunities. Harnessing inner alchemy for growth. So I feel like with this specific situation, this is a part of something you are meant to alchemize and turn into something else, something you're meant to balance. You're meant to transform this in order to truly be who you are meant to be and to live in the world in the way you are meant to exist in it. There are certain challenges that you need to overcome throughout your life, and I feel like this is one of them. So I feel like you have this strong ability to transmute energy. I don't think you always use it properly, use it correctly. Maybe you haven't learned how to properly use it, but you have this strong ability within you for transformation and also to help others transform. It could be that you're directing this strong ability within you towards trying to fix others, but by doing so, you are interrupting the divine path of others, right? Even though you are meant to help transform other people and to guide them. But the way it's being expressed is imbalanced because you are exhausting yourself. You're doing it in such a way that it could be hurting you and the other person because it could be disrupting their ability to learn their own lessons, including yours, right? So this is something that continues to happen over time. And boundaries is something everyone needs to work on. There's also a message about boundaries here. So this situation needs to be alchemized. And with the mystical vision, this is about following your path with confidence. So this is a part of your journey, a part of your path, in order for you to evolve to the next level of what you are meant to be doing in your life and how you are meant to be living your life. This needs to be overcome first. This is a lesson within your lifetime, in this life, that you are meant to overcome and learn. This strong pull to fix and this strong pull to guide and to be a martyr and to, express justice through you is something that you have been living with for a long time. Okay, and there could be a reason why you do this. Many reasons why you do this. So this reading is going to be focused on how this is being expressed, why this is being expressed, and how to transmute these energies so that you can use them better, so that you can protect your energy and truly help people without interrupting their own journey. This transmutation, this ability to transform yourself and others, it's something that's innate to your character. It's something that you should harness, but maybe not in the way you have been expressing it, if that makes sense. Underneath that, we also had honeymoon. So honeymoon phase, attending someone's wedding. Some of you may be attending a wedding. For some reason, this is connected to this reading, this energy. I'm not necessarily seeing this as literal, but this could have something to do with travel. This could have something to do with bliss or attached to a certain experience. So we'll explore that a little bit more. And we also have gold digger here. So there could be, you could put yourself directly into situations where you get taken advantage of because of this this imbalance or this people-pleasing energy or this lack of boundary energy or this need to fix everybody or to fix people. I feel like it can also attract people who would take advantage of you financially, emotionally, and mentally as well. So that could also be something that you have attracted into your life. It's something that you definitely don't want to continue doing. Invention, burning with passion. I feel like you do have a lot of passion. You do have a lot of inspiration. I think there's an emphasis on how you express it out in the world, what channels you use to express this energy in the world, what outlets do you have? Other than directing it to other people external to you, what other outlets do you have? I feel like there's something that you have to invent or something that you have to explore that you can use this alchemical energy for. What are your aspirations? How do you help people? You know, outside of a personal relationship or something of this nature, you may have a strong ability to lead as well. I feel like you could be a part of this cause, a very significant part of a cause. You've also got the self gathering your power. So I feel like periodically when I was talking about burnout or like you give so much of yourself and then you need time to recuperate and you do this through isolation, I feel like this is very true. I feel like this card is reflective of that. So you retreat to gather back your power, and when you gather back your power, you end up giving it away again. Too quickly, too much. I feel like you need to develop this ability to understand your own boundary when you are crossing your own line. I feel like I'm definitely speaking to someone who has awareness. Okay, but I feel like this is something that is, there's a root to this. And that's why it's very difficult to overcome. For you, we also had the koi fish. There is always enough. So I feel like you need to understand when, you know, you're crossing your own line, when you are overgiving, and to really pull yourself back and to use boundaries to do that, especially when it comes to other people. We all need support. We all need someone. We all need our own tribe, right? We all need that. But it's also important that we can depend on ourselves. If anyone leaves us, or if anything happens, or we don't have this group anymore, or whatever the case might be, that we can depend on ourselves. So I'm also seeing a message here, a warning, is to not put yourself in that situation where you become dependent. You become too dependent on others. Because I'm also seeing that people can become dependent on you. So I feel like this can be a very back and forth energy. Someone around you has the cat spirit, claim your independence. So I feel like there's someone around you with the ability to be very independent, or, I mean, this cat has wings, so they know how to be independent. They have the resources. But I feel like you are so overgiving and so willing that maybe someone around you or the people in your life, they don't realize when, you know, you're depleted, because maybe you're very enthusiastic or very willing. And some people can see that as, you know, something that you're willing to do, or you just enjoy doing that. I think we can rule that off as someone taking advantage of you, but not always. Some people really are oblivious, right? So it's good to communicate your needs to others. It's good to communicate when you are feeling depleted or you may need more help, or when you can't offer any more help. Also, boundaries, right? But someone around you has the cat energy, so they are very independent. You know, they do have a sharp eye. They are intuitive. So they can take care of themselves. Sometimes this dependence on you or the things that you are willing to do for them. You know, they don't really have to think about these other things very much. You know, this can be any type of relationship or situation, but I feel like it's trying to help you to see this pattern or this behavior of yours, okay? So someone around you is like a reflection. This gold digger card I'm seeing here, I feel like this is what this is. I don't feel like this is literal. You know, people may not even try to take advantage of you. It just ends up happening because you have such an overgiving energy. But there are going to be people with the wrong intentions as well around you who are willing and wanting to take more than they give. So this is about balancing those energies and being able to give and receive fairly. Also being able to have the boundaries to, step back and say no when you feel depleted or when you can't give more. I'm just going to pull a Dreamweaver card that we're going to read at the end of this reading that will tie everything together. There won't be an extended on this reading this week. So I'm going to try and get as much information in this reading as I can. What the winter spirits know. That's the card that we had. And on the bottom, a firebird is called to soar. With the firebird energy on the bottom, this gives me phoenix vibes. I feel like the phoenix archetype is expressed here. You are being asked to transmute this energy for yourself and within you. This isn't about focusing on others. It's not about fixing others. Some of that energy now needs to be returned to yourself, okay? Because this energy needs to be transmuted and transformed. We're going to leave what the winter spirits know until the end of the reading, though, so that we can see how that ties the energy together. All right, so we're going to look at the tarot now. We're going to see what the overall situation is for you right now inside of this energy. I think I touched on the see your emotions as teachers, but I think I got distracted. That was on the bottom of the Empath Oracle deck, and this is about seeing your situation and your triggers as a teacher. This is about truly learning from these people. I feel like these people in your life are like a mirror, like this cat spirit. I feel like there are things around you right now that are mirroring this behavior back at you, but I feel like you're not quite seeing it correctly. But there's people and there's situations that are trying to teach you this lesson and probably have been for some time. So we got the Moon and the Knight of Wands. We also had the Snake, looking over your shoulder, competition, and the Dragonfly, lighthearted, things coming to light and heal. So I definitely feel like you have definitely been taken advantage of. This is something you have experienced in your life. And it's also attached to this people-pleasing energy, this overgiving energy, and your willingness to do so. So this is a confirmation to me. The Dragonfly is about transformation. It's about seeing truth, and the Snake is about the shedding of the old skin, but it's also about manipulative people around you. I feel like this manipulation is the very thing that you need to shed. You need to shed this manipulation. Because you are open to manipulation, and you're open to manipulation because you are not in your dragonfly energy. This is the energy that's trying to come through and teach you. This overgiving energy, this frequency of, being loose with your boundaries when it makes others uncomfortable, or not enforcing your boundaries and overgiving above your means. Or maybe not saying no when you should. This is something that isn't serving you, okay? You're not here in this world. You're not meant to fix people. That's not your task. It's nobody's task. Everyone has their own path and their own journey. Everyone is the main character in their life and everyone else is an NPC. And a lot of people don't like to see it that way, but that's how it is. We're all center of our own world, right, to some degree. That doesn't make us selfish. It just means that we manifest our reality around us. That includes the people that are around us and the situations that we, reflect out into the world because of our, our inner conditions. Like our behavior, our actions, and how we think. This is definitely something that needs to be looked at because this is something you keep inviting into your world. All right, and when this kind of thing continues to repeat in your life, then the problem isn't the world, the problem isn't everything else. It's us, right? It's us. If something continues to happen over and over again, we have to have a good hard look at our own behavior. Because we might say, well, I was so good to them. I tried to fix them. I gave them this. I gave them that. Well, that could actually be the problem. Ironically enough, that can be the problem, right? It's this overgiving energy. It's the intention. Okay, you look at the intention here. Why are you overgiving? Why are you trying to fix this person? Everyone needs to focus on their own journey while supporting and guiding others, but not interfering. There's a very big difference in those two. And then we also have the Knight of Wands and the Moon here. So there's something that is not being seen correctly. It's like the overall vibe. This could be a person, this Knight of Wands could be a person who is coming into your life. This could be an unexpected communication or somebody. I just heard somebody might show up to your door. I don't know why. But that could be for somebody. This is a very fiery, fast-moving energy though, okay? So I feel like, and because the moon is here, this is something that you're not going to be expecting. This could be a test for you. This person or this energy may be a test for you. It could be a situation too. It doesn't have to be a person. But I'm picking up on a person here. Could be a fire sign, could be somebody that you know, or could be somebody bringing you in some news. Could even be somebody that you're interested in or somebody that you met or you're going to be meeting very soon. But there's something that isn't seen here in this situation. I want to see how this is related to this overall energy. How is this Knight of Wands connected to this lesson? This lesson of the overgiving and overfixing. Yes. There is something coming in very quickly, the Eight of Wands. So this is someone coming in with some sort of communication that is going to test you. I feel like it's going to test your boundaries. It's going to, now that you are aware of this, in your next communications with others, especially those who may be more pushy, more controlling, or even more codependent upon you, this is going to be a test for you and your boundaries and giving but also pulling back. This could be even someone who comes to you asking for something, and it's not just a very small thing. It could be something that you can't do. This is going to test you to stand up for that and to be honest, right? It starts with small actions. Small actions turn into bigger actions that become more comfortable and natural over time. This could be someone that you have feelings towards, though, which could make it more difficult, but I feel like you have to do this. Considering that the snake is here and the moon is here, this person could have hidden intentions. So if it's not someone that you're interested in, or even if it is, I feel like it's someone who is going to come in and test you. It's going to ask more of you than you should give, probably, even if you can. This can be connected to anything at all, but I'm seeing that you're not going to see it coming. I feel like if you do this, people are going to respect you more. I feel like it's respect that you are not being given in these situations. Remembrance. This is about remembering who you truly are deep down. We also have manifestation here and the seeker on the bottom. There's something you are meant to manifest into your world that you are meant to align to, but this is like a blockage for you. There's something that you need to remember, and I don't necessarily mean in the literal sense, it very much could be, but I feel like this is a remembrance of who you are, what you're capable of, and your worth, your personal worth. I feel like this could also be connected to a personal worth wound or something like this nature. This could also be like a message to the alchemy, the transmutation message about having an outlet for this energy to be expressed. So this is about remembering your nature and then expressing that out into the world that helps others or helps to do something of meaning and purpose within the world, but not directed in a people-pleasing way or directed at someone because you care, because it pulls at your heartstrings, because there's a fear of abandonment or you feel like you need to prove yourself. So I feel like this is about remembering who you are deep down within yourself, working through the conditioning and the messages that you have been told over time by other people. You know, maybe you had to overgive a lot in your life or in your childhood or something like that in order to feel safe and stable. You know, but that could be doing more damage than good at this point, right? Like, that's not protecting you anymore. Now it's going to get you taken advantage of. Now it's going to leave you high and dry. And this manifestation card is also a message to the way that this energy manifests these same situations back into a cycle, a routine of it. And I feel like this manifestation is connected to the moon. You're doing this and you're getting frustrated, but you're the one that's doing it. And this Eight of Wands situation, like all of these situations coming towards you or the people coming towards you, this connects with the See Your Emotions as Teachers card that I was talking about earlier. These are all opportunities to change this pattern. Even if you have to rehearse it, even if you have to sit in that discomfort, even if you have to cry afterwards, different choices need to be made to change something. Always, with anything. Different choices need to be made. You can't do the same things over and over and expect a different result. You can't be an overgiver and try to fix people and then expect them to give back to you in return, because you're in this overgiving energy. You're not asking for anything in return, right? I don't mean literally, it's an energy. An overgiving energy is a frequency of overgiving and not getting anything in return because you feel like it's your role. All right, anyway, I'm going to now get into the depth of the reading. This dragonfly energy here is the medicine for the snake. All right. Lighthearted and adaptable. Finding out and change. Things coming to light and healing. Healing. Emphasis on the healing this. The Six of Wands. There's a lot of Wands energy, so I feel like there's a lot of emphasis on action and inspiration and willpower. Motivation. I feel like you definitely have this motivation. Feeling needed. Feeling needed, this is coming to my mind now. Can be very inspiring. It can make you feel wanted, you feel chosen, you feel dependent upon. It makes you feel good. You're noticed, you're heard, you're looked at. You're seen as a pinnacle of strength when you can give and others need help. That's great and all, but it's also, that can also come from a wound to want to be worthy. And then this giving, when you give with that kind of energy, we may think it's selfless, but it's actually quite selfish. It's just disguised as selflessness, if that makes sense. We've got the Six of Wands, so there's a sense of victory here. And this is in what you don't see in your current situation. So I feel like you're definitely someone who has pride. I'm hearing pride. For the Six of Wands, I want to pull a shadow card because I feel like this is connected to your shadow. All of this is connected to your shadow, but I just want to see why this victory is here, what this victory is felt through. So we've got grief. In pain, find healing and deeper connection to the self. So this fixing behavior, or this need to help and pull people from the darkest depths of their emotions or their problems, it stems from grief. So did you have an experience in your life that you grieved very heavily and it had a big impact on you? It could be connected to this. I also see depression. This too shall pass. Every story brings a rainbow. So it could also be connected to depression. It might come from, you may have experienced some very deep, dark things within your life. And I find a lot of times, and I was like this before as well, when you go through a lot, you get this mindset of, I've been through so much, I've been through a lot of pain in my life. I've overcome some of these things, so I can help other people do that now, or I don't want other people to feel that kind of pain like I did. Okay, this can make you a martyr. This can make you an overfixer, an overgiver, and I was like this because I experienced a lot and I had overcome a lot and healed through a lot. I found myself back then, while I was still in the middle of all of this, like not wanting others to feel this way. So sometimes I would overgive, or I would drop my boundaries for certain things because I feel like they had this wound that I had experienced and I didn't want them to feel that. But while you're doing that, you're abandoning yourself. So you're not allowing yourself to heal, and you're not helping to heal anyone else through your own healing because you are reopening your own wound. You're self-abandoning by doing that. So you're harming the very person that you healed or you are trying to heal. Other people don't need, the thing we need to see is that other people don't need us to heal them. That's not our job. It's their job to heal themselves. A lot of times we're just catalysts to another person's healing. We just show them certain things, or we reflect certain things. That's our role. But you can't make someone see anything or believe anything or do anything for themselves, even if we see their potential. And we can't live trying to shield them from the pain that we experience. That's not our job either, right? Sometimes people need to go through this pain in order to transform, just like we did. Okay, yeah, it sucked. It really sucked, and it was hard. But would we know what we know now if we didn't? So we could be actively harming their own transformation by interrupting that process, and that's what we need to remember. I also seen envy and isolation, so that could be relevant to someone. I did mention isolation, so this could be something you're experiencing right now. Okay, let's continue. Let's look at the near past situation. In the near past, you may have started a new connection with somebody, like a new, it doesn't have to be romance, but I'm picking up for some of you, this is romantic. This is a new connection. You recently developed feelings, or someone has developed feelings for you. And we also had the Magician. So this is something that you manifested in here. Okay, I feel like this person and you are possibly very fond of each other. Maybe this person is even revealing some of this pattern to you, or they're going to be. If this person is connected to this Knight of Wands energy, this Knight of Wands is a manifestation of the lesson that you need to learn once again. Okay? And that doesn't mean that this person is going to disappear once you learn the lesson. It doesn't mean that. But it's about being okay with whatever happens. The point is to learn the lesson, because the lesson continues to repeat, right? I feel like this people pleasing could also be attached to love specifically. All right, let's have a look at what is known. You're very aware of how exhausting this can be. You're aware of how exhausting this has been in your life, and you have tried to change this. And I feel like it's that situation where you think you've changed it and you think you've healed from it, but it continues to happen. So there's still something that needs to be transmuted inside of you. But this is good. This is a good energy to see here, because I feel like you're going to be working through this grief. You're going to be working on your boundaries. You're going to be working on your boundaries. I feel like you've been dwelling on something for long enough and you're getting tired of it. You're getting frustrated with it, right? It could be the same pattern, the same way of thinking. I feel like you're standing up to this. You're tired from it. You're drained. You're turning the other way now. You're turning your back to these spilt cups. These cups aren't giving back to you, so you're choosing to turn your back to them now. You could also be manifesting to the moon. That's what I just seen here. I'm just looking at him looking at the moon. So you could be manifesting to the moon, or you may want to talk to the moon. The moon is a fantastic way to manifest and make your intentions known to the universe. So that's just something I thought I should mention. All right, let's see near future energy. Near future energy, and then we're going to explore a little bit how to approach all of this in more detail. The Three of Cups, so there could be a celebration coming up for you. I'm seeing you're going to have some very lighthearted and playful times. This could involve this person that you met in the near past, or this new emotional beginning. There's some sort of new beginning here that is attached to your heart space. The Five of Cups, I feel like because your intention is more focused on yourself, or it's going to be shifting towards yourself. That's why you're having this Three of Cups energy. I feel like you are actively working on this. Even if you're not completely aware that you are, I feel like there's something that has shifted or is shifting within you. Look at this. You get the Six of Pentacles here, and the Six of Pentacles is about giving and receiving. And I feel like you are moving away from this. You're moving away from this energy. So this is coming up for you right now. The reason why you're here listening to this reading is because something is aligning and you are prepared to be able to change this or transition from this pattern, or you have been. That's why you're seeing this. We've also got the Five of Pentacles here, so you're not alone. You're not alone in the Seven of Swords. So even if you think like you're dealing with everything alone, you're not. You know, you are being watched over. This could be somebody around you who's very devoted and loyal to you, or somebody that you can speak to for advice. Okay, that's a very specific message. You're going to be feeling victorious. So you are rising above this energy. But I feel like you're going to be challenged. I feel like to fully understand this pattern, it involves your shadow and it involves your past. Possibly your past with grief and depression, okay? Justice to overcome this. This is justice for yourself. This is standing in your own power. This is not giving your power away. This is living a balanced life of giving and receiving. So this is literally about you standing in your power and standing up for yourself. This is what this is. This is about learning this skill over time and doing it. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you will become. Like I said, if you need to cry afterwards, if you need to isolate afterwards, whatever it is, it will become more normal over time, right? But justice is being served, and you're serving it to yourself. The Knight of Cups. So working through this is going to actively bring you more opportunities. It's going to manifest more opportunities towards you that are honest, fulfilling, and that won't take advantage of you. And if you're watching this right now and this is something you have been working through, then I'm seeing something coming through the doors for you right now. There is something coming towards you, being manifested towards you, because you are setting boundaries, because you are focusing, you're refining your approach. This could also be an opportunity, like if you have been exploring your career or ideas or starting a business or helping others, coaching others, whatever it might be for you. I'm seeing this opening up opportunities for you. And they're connected to your emotions, so it's going to be very emotionally fulfilling. So this is receiving energy as well, okay? So this is opening up your ability to receive. When you ask for what it is that you want, when you set boundaries, you say no to certain things. If you say yes to everything, then everything comes flooding into your life, including all sorts of problems. You have to say no to some energy. You have to, or you will never be able to refine your approach. You will never be able to refine what you truly want to bring in. Your manifestations will always look like, they'll always be jumbled intentions. You need to be clear on your intentions. And to be clear on your intentions, you need to refine your focus, which means you need to be able to say no to certain things. We only have so much energy in a day. We only have so much energy to devote to certain people or certain hobbies or certain everything, right? If you're trying to give it everywhere and you say yes to everything, say goodbye to your dreams, because you won't be able to manifest anything tangible, because your energy is literally given everywhere. So you want to refine this overgiving energy, this transmutation energy. You could also be an alchemist. You may want to do something in energy work, or think about what it is that you do. There could even be like a business or something like this, right? Something that you can get paid for or support it for in return. I feel like this can help transmute this need to give and to help and support, because it looks like you could be an energy worker as well, or you could work with energy, but you haven't expressed it properly. So I feel like you're going to be able to receive by asking, especially if you have something to give and you're giving so much of your energy. You should get something in return from that. And this is not about the intention of, well, if I'm doing this for you, you have to do this for me. It's not like that. Okay, there's a nuance. There is a difference. It's about energy exchange. That's it. You give your energy, you get energy back. You give something of value, someone gives something of value back. At least sometimes, right? So I'm seeing receiving is something you will become more open to, and you will be getting more opportunities coming your way. Just going to get some outcome energy here. This reading ended up being very long. You got the Four of Swords, so there's a need for mental rest, specifically mental rest. The Nine of Swords, yeah. Maybe feeling a little anxious, you may need some rest, okay? This is connected to your dreams. All of this is connected to your dreams and what you want out of life. New beginnings. Reinventing yourself. That's what I'm seeing. The Tower, so yeah, something significant needs to change. It's going to feel very uncomfortable. Ten of Swords, endings, cycles, endings, new beginnings. The Five of Wands, competition. This is more like internal conflict. The Empress, standing in your power. That is the main energy I'm feeling. And the Devil. So that's what you've been juggling. You've been juggling with the Dougal. You've been juggling with the Devil. And the World on the bottom, cycles. What the winter spirits know. Okay. I'm just going to read this to you. Let's see how this ties into everything. This is also 20, so 20, the number 20 could be significant to you, a synchronicity for you. So the essential meaning of what the winter spirits know is obstacles that are divinely timed, the season of rest slowing down to regroup. So I feel like there's a need to be more internal. There is a need to reflect on why this pattern keeps repeating, right? Why this kept repeating in the past. Obstacles that are divinely timed. So yeah, I'm feeling that from this Knight of Wands. I feel like the universe is sending you tests on purpose to see if you're really ready to level up this way, if you're really ready to receive what you are meant to receive in your life. Okay, I'm going to read this. Obstacles are placed in our path for a purpose, to slow us down, okay? If you encounter ice, you need to proceed with caution. If you encounter a no, maybe a yes will come from a new source. So this is about giving and receiving, okay? If you encounter a mountain, you need time to figure out whether you should climb it, walk around it, dig a tunnel through it, or choose another path altogether. Regardless of the form of the obstacle takes, the winter spirits know that sometimes you need to put something on ice until a better time. Boundaries. If something isn't working right now, trust that it's not meant to. At least it's not meant to yet. At least not yet. What the winter spirits know is that the season of slowing down to contemplate and dream is upon you now. Take advantage of this time to regroup, rethink your choices, and make a plan. Only after you've rested and surrendered will you receive the wisdom that heralds the time of regeneration and rebirth. Perhaps the obstacles in your path you've been planning for may have melted away by then. So this is also about pausing before action. So, the tendency to fix or to say yes or to respond to somebody's question or invitation can be very impulsive. Sometimes we can do it impulsively, right? And if you're in that fixing or people-pleasing energy or anything like this that is very giving, you may feel that impulse to continue to do that. So this is about pausing beforehand and interrupting that same impulsion, that response, that reaction, and making a different choice, even if you have to rehearse it beforehand. You can't imagine what might come forward and present itself to you or what might be said, but you can rehearse in your mind some possibilities of expressing to another person that you need time to think about it, or maybe you have other plans or other things you want to do. You need to I feel like there's a need to focus on how to communicate your own needs in a way that is compassionate yet assertive, right? And be okay with disappointing others. So this is about the saying no energy again. So what the winter spirits know, it's a strong message about boundaries and pausing before reacting. Okay, so that's the message that ties all of this together. That's also going to be very relevant and important for you about these tests that the universe will send to you to make sure that this habit does change, because you need to be tested when you think something is healed. And when you're tested, if you do the same things, then you're not really healed, right? All right, I'm going to stop there because this reading has already gone on for a very long time, much longer than I thought. Anyway, thank you for being here. If this resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and connect with me. You can also join us over on Patreon and join the inner circle over there where I post extendeds and other bonus content. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can join us over there. Leave a like and a comment. It really helps me out and I appreciate it, and I love reading your comments. I really look forward to them. So I wish you the best. I will see you next time. Bye for now.